welcome to class. Good morning. How are you doing? Good. Good. Awesome. Weissel, please pay attention. Today we're going to be talking about World War I. Exciting stuff. We're moving on from our Civil War unit, which we spent a lot of time on, and we're going to be talking about World War I and World War II. So when we talk about wars and stuff like conflicts in general, like we are for our theme of conflict and cooperation, we talk about why did this happen, right? That's kind of where we start. So what caused World War I? For me, in school, World War I was really confusing because it involves over 100 countries. There's a lot of different reasons why it happened. It's a really confusing war, especially for me still as a college student. It's hard to understand, but I found this really great video on YouTube that finally got me to understand it like a week ago. So I'm going to show it to you guys because it really sums up the whole war in kind of a fun, easy way. And then we are going to do a reading on some different perspectives about what caused World War I. Okay? So, Michaela, can you grab the lights for me?
Okay.
Thank you. Alright, if you guys want to take notes on the video, feel free because it might help you throughout the week.
Century Germany was booming. There were signs of a storm brewing. Emperor Kaiser Wilhelm II had plans to teach his rivals a lesson.
Now Deutschland is high, but don't take a high. Look for to Solomon's Empire. Like Britain, I will see Utwan. Watch out for it's a partner.
It's worth pointing out that the Kaiser was mentally unstable, but unfortunately for the rest of Europe, he was in charge. Germany's name is starting to take
Hey
notice.
Russia, have you heard this guy? I'm thinking of putting my army on standby.
I know, cousin really is giving me nausea, but now we signed an agreement with Austria.
So tell her when we've got your back. We'll be here if the Kaiser attacks.
It was against this backdrop that Gavrilo Princip, a young Serbian nationalist, shot dead Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austrian throne, setting off a terrible chain of events. Are you ready? Let's go. Austria and Germany attack into Serbia, who are allies with Russia, didn't mention that earlier. Russia get ready to advance. Now brings in their pals, France. Germany attack France as quick as they can. Adopts an approach called the Schlieffen Plan. They go through Belgium, awful decision. As Belgium have friends, they may go Britain, in come Italy. Now let's join the advance with the first British troops fighting in France.
Get down, boys. We must take cover, or before machine gun fire. Good Lord knows how winter shells at me. Without delay, quick chaps, dig!
By November 1914, 400 miles of barbed wire and mud stretched from the Alps to Belgium. Commonwealth soldiers arrived from Australia, Africa and India, but still more troops were needed.
Men of Britain, there's much to do. Your time is now. Your country needs you.
Sir, we've just had news from Gallipoli.
Yes, here's the Turk. A resounding victory.
No, sir, 500,000 casualties and a telegram. Send help, please.
Back in the trenches there was more to fear as chemical weapons began to appear.
Gas, elixir, bubbling, no mask. A damn cloth's better than nothing.
Sir, I can't see the gas things and
Come here,
burns.
soldier. Let's get you to a nurse.
Behind the front line, volunteer nurses tended to the injured soldiers, both at home and on the front line. Women made tremendous contributions to the war effort.
Hold still, deep breaths. I'll soon be through. It's barbaric what they've done to you.
Oh, thank you, miss. You're a real pearl. God, these trenches, no place for a girl.
Neither are they fit for a man, but we're here to help the best we can. And who do you think manufactured your gun? Us girls will see this war is won.
1916 saw terrible losses on the Western Front. The Germans advanced to Verdun and the British went forward at the Somme, but neither battle proved decisive. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Front, the Russians were achieving some successes.
Sir, news from the Russian army.
Blimey, that pigeon's flown a long way. Let me guess, they've been pushed back.
No, actually, they've had a good crack. General Brusilov makes good progress. His wide attacks put Fritz under stress. He's advanced no less than 60 miles.
Superb, great news, I like your style.
Oh, hang on. And now his attack's been stalled. German reserves have been called.
Oh, blast.
It would take new tactics and technology to break the deadlock on either front. In 1917, Germany made a fatal calculation by pursuing a ruinous naval strategy.
This war has gone on long enough. It's time for Deutschland to get tough. The Allies need the imports to stay alive. Can't seize off, but they cannot survive.
German U-boats attacked In response, the United States declared war on Germany. It would take another year, however, for American troops to actually arrive in Europe. In the meantime, a Russian revolutionary seized his moment.
My Russian brothers, listen in. Let me introduce myself. Vladimir Lenin. I promise to take this country far. But first, we need to kick out the Tsar. Good, that was easy. Now everyone's equal. We'll have bread, land, and peace for the people. I think Mother Russia's had enough of this war. I'll meet with the Germans to settle this score.
The meeting took place in November 1917, and Russian land was divided by Germany into independent states, including the Ukraine. With Russia now out of the war, the Germans moved all efforts to the Western Front and planned a colossal effort in the spring of 1918. Ultimately, the offensive failed, and at this pivotal moment, the Americans finally arrived.
Hey, what's up? No photographs, please. We got your memo and... Geez, things have gotten out of hand. Well, good thing you called up Uncle Sam. The enemy had better reach for the skies. We'll light it up like the 4th of July.
You idiot.
By May 1918, 200,000 American troops were arriving per month, and after withstanding the German offensive, new technology and tactics proved decisive for the Allies.
Right, chaps. This is it. We have orders to make the hit. Keep behind the tanks. Use the Lewis gun. A creeping barrage will shatter the Hun. Our planes will protect from the skies. Then we'll hold the line until support arrives.
Finally, the Allies got some traction, putting the Germans out of action. At 11 a.m. on the 11th of November, the guns fell silent upon German surrender. All in all, a tragic loss. Europe secured, but at what cost? A generation lost. We are forever in debt. 100 years hence, lest we forget.
Michaela, can you grab the light, please? Alright, so what stood out in that video to you guys? Raise your hand. Come on, I know it's early, but I'm sure something stood out.
200,000 men arrived from America to don't know where from, but where to every month.
Yep, so the Americans came to Europe to help out the war. Did that happen right away? No. The Americans were not involved in the war for probably the first 3 years or so. Why was that? Does anyone know? No? America had a policy of isolationism. They didn't want to be involved. They said, do your thing, Europe. We don't want to be involved. We don't want to deal with it. We're fine on our own. Is that how America is today? No, we're super involved, right? So it's really different. And that was the same in World War II. We didn't want to get involved again. So it took a lot before America was even involved in World War I and World War II. A lot of it seems like America came in and saved the day, and that's the story we hear a lot. But that's not necessarily true, because a lot of the fighting was done before America was even there. And America didn't want to be there. So that's really important to know. So good job, Eric. What else stood out? Yes.
Like the women were like taking care of the sick and injured, and the guy that was hurt like said that this is no place for women.
Yeah. What does that remind you of that we were just talking about?
Like since
1 second, Austin. Go ahead.
since like all the men were in war, there was nobody to take care of like the sick and injured, and so the women had to like work in factories and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Austin.
Reminds me of women's rights.
Women's rights? How's that?
Because, like, it says no place for a woman, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Did women have the right to vote when World War I was going on?
No.
No, they didn't get the right to vote until 1920, and World War I ended in 1917. Very similar to the Civil War, women were burying the men and the soldiers and building mass graves. And the same thing, women were behind the front lines. They were the ones doing all the medical stuff, building the guns. So women had a huge part in that war effort. Really good. Anything else? One more thing that stood out. Eric.
They used chemical warfare for the first time that war.
Yeah, technology was changing, right? There was chemical warfare. What else did you guys notice about the style of war? Where were they fighting from? Austin. Trenches, yeah. So lots of things changed. This was the first grand scale war that we had that was using all these new technologies that really changed the way we fight wars today, especially. So, what did you guys see about the causes of the war? What caused World War I, according to the video? Austin?
The guy shooting like somebody, like the Empire's name.
Yeah, the Archduke of Austria, Franz Ferdinand, was assassinated, right? That's a lot of times seen as this main cause to World War I, but do we think that there was more causes? Is there a single cause to any conflict? No, usually a lot of things build up. We saw that there were some issues going on in Germany, and their leader wanted to take over a lot of stuff. Russia was having issues. There's different alliances going on. So A, there's a lot of causes. B, does every country see the same causes as causes? No, they're all going to tell a different story. There's Germany's side, there's our side, there's Italy's side, and there's the truth. But will we ever know the exact right answer? No. So today we're going to read some different perspectives. We're going to look at textbooks that kids are reading in Italy, that kids read in Germany, that kids read in Britain, about what they think caused World War I. And you're going to look at your textbook and see the story that it tells. Okay? So you're going to go through this reading right here. They're short, little tiny excerpts from each country. And then you're going to look at your textbook and you're going to take some notes about what each country thought about what caused World War I. Okay? There's little things right before it starts the reading that kind of summarizes it. Those are great tools to use because reading a German textbook can be a little bit daunting, but the summaries will kind of tell you what you're looking for. Okay? After you're done reading and filling out your sheet, we'll talk about it a little bit, okay? Sound good? Yep. Thank you. All right. Does anyone want to help me pass stuff out? Jillian, here. And Austin. I'll be walking around if you have questions on what you're reading, and feel free to talk to your group members about what you're reading if you have questions or thoughts or ideas. Serbia, yeah. No. They knew that it was a group. It wasn't Serbia, the country, that it was a Serbia. But Serbia. That was good. Russia, Serbia. Does that make sense? Yep. Yeah. So then Germany declared war on Russia because it was allied with Austria. Yeah. See how complicated it is? It's like a bad high school soap opera.
So did Germany declare it on Russia because they were like aligned with
Serbia?
Yeah.
So Russia was helping protect Serbia and the group of people that killed the Archduke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the video, they were talking about how Germany was kind of crazy, right? And they felt very nationalistic and aggressive. So I think part of it was they were helping out Austria, and part of it was Germany just wanted its own empire. Okay? So there's a lot of different reasons, but yes, Germany was aligned with Austria. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Alright, so I know a lot of you guys are still working on getting your sheets filled out, but let's talk about what you've read a little bit. Who can tell me what what the kids in France are reading about. What does their textbook say? Yes. So patriotism is what caused the war. What does that mean?
When everybody like learns about like worshiping, like loving the country, and doing the things that everybody else does.
Yeah, so patriotism is having a love for your country, right? Thinking it's the best on earth. Do we do that in America?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty patriotic. When was a time when patriotism in America led to conflict? It's not a trick question, it's actually really easy. When did America fight for Americanism and democracy?
Revolutionary.
Yes, it's our Revolutionary War. Bitch again. You got the answer. So that's a great example of when patriotism can lead to conflict. But yeah, that is a big reason why World War I happened. It's what France focuses on in their textbook, but it's not necessarily the entire cause. What did Italy say? I know a lot of you have stuff written down. Eric, what did Italy say?
I just put that there was major conflict when they claimed that Libya, they claimed Libya from the Turks, but that was resolved without major ordinance.
So Italy was talking about what was going on in Italy, right? And Italy's role in the war. It kind of ignored the whole Austro-German, Hungarian business. So that's interesting. Italy was focused on Italy. Michaela.
I put that Austria-Hungary want to get rid of Serbia after they assassinated France Ferdinand, but then Russia was like protecting them.
Yeah, that was the German part, right? That's what the German textbook said. So Germany, I think Germany's one of the most interesting ones because in the video it talked about how aggressive Germany was, right? But in the German textbook, what does it say? Michaela had it. Germany was just trying to help out Austria. They were doing the right thing, right? Germany wasn't as aggressive as the video painted it out to be. Do you think American textbooks do that? Do they paint themselves as the good guy? Yeah? Why do they do that? Eric, what'd you say?
Make us look better.
Yeah, we like to make ourselves look better. We like to build ourselves up. There's that patriotism again, that kind of self-worship. But do we do things that are wrong? Yeah. Do we as individuals do things that are wrong? Is that what we talk about when we meet someone? Hey, my name's Miss Murray. I did this, this, and this in high school. Wasn't so great, but I'm also awesome for these reasons. No, we tend to cover those things up, and textbooks do a great job at doing that. How about, what did you guys find in your textbook? Yes, Jack.
Talks about like how the war started and like some of the military strategies that were used.
Yeah, so it's kind of coming at it objectively a little bit more. It's not necessarily talking about its role because was the United States involved right away? No, they weren't involved for a long time. So their causes are going to look a lot different than countries that were actually involved, right? Good. I want you guys to finish up those boxes. If you don't finish in these last 5 minutes here, take it home and finish filling it out because these notes will help you understand more as we continue to talk about World War I. But good job today, and I appreciate your participation. You guys have a lot of good ideas. Good job.